Hey everyone, welcome back to the Everton Career Mode, and we're already on episode 12, and it's almost the end of the first season, guys. After that last win against Crystal Palace last episode, I went and looked at the league table, guys, and we're in a Champions League spot. This is incredible. Both Spurs and Wolves slipped up, and this is no longer a pipe dream. With 6 games left, anything can happen. We might be able to get Champions League in the first season with Everton, guys. Now, I will say it's going to be incredibly difficult because our schedule is just brutal. We play against Liverpool, Chelsea, Wolves, Leicester, Arsenal, and Brentford. That's 5 teams out of the 6 from the top half and 3 out of the 6 from the top 6. That is a tough run. And in the past, we've gotten results against Spurs and Man United out of that list, so it's going to be difficult. But we've done decently well against each team. We've got a lot of draws. I feel like we can play with the big boys in the sandbox, and with our new signings this time around, maybe we can get a little bit more. We can squeeze out a result more, and that just might put us over the line. It'll be a photo finish. For Champions League, for sure, it will be a photo finish if we were to get it. I'm looking at the Europa League and saying we can beat out either Spurs or Wolves, and I'm looking at Manchester United. We're 6 points above them. We're a game in hand. I really feel confident that we'll finish at least in the top 6, guys, and that's already a decent season. Now, unfortunately, we're going to have to do all this without Alan Saint-Maximin. Crystal Palace played a really dirty game, and he got injured for 4 weeks, so we're going to have to deal without this talisman of ours, and I'm going to miss his dribbling. Honestly, his dribbling and speed will be sorely missed, especially in this next game against Wolves. I could have really used it. This is going to be a tough game, guys. I really admire how they play. Next to Chelsea, this is probably the most difficult opponent I face. No disrespect to Liverpool or City, but at least against those teams, I'm confident that I'll have my chances. And it's just about defensive solidity. With Wolves, they play really well tactically, and the team is set up in a really proper way. They play 5-2-3, and it's interesting because in the offensive phase, this is a 3-4-3 because those fullbacks push forward and act almost as wide midfielders. But in the defensive phase, what Wolves do, and they do this incredibly well, I realized in the first game, they drop those wingers and it becomes a 5-4-1 with a bank of 5 and a bank of 4. And it's really incredibly tough to break them down, especially if they go 1-0 up like they did in the first game. They don't give you much opportunities. They do discipline and they drop back into a low block, so it's really difficult to break down. And this team specifically is just so hard to play against because their players and their recruitment is so good, and each player fits the system. It all starts from the back. Connor Cody is just a leader amongst men, and he plays in that central position. He can step out and almost become a third midfielder. His passing is just incredible, and Wolves like to play out from the back, and all their CBs are capable of this, whether it be Boli, Romain Saiss, anyone they rotate. All their players are of this profile, and then they move it into the midfield, and it's just incredible. Their midfield quality on the ball is just ridiculous. They have João Moutinho, they have Ruben Neves, and they've brought in Adrien Rabiot. They managed to steal this guy from Juventus, and they're all exceptional passers. And then when the ball moves into the final third, when they spray it out wide and they start converging in, they move forward from their deep line positions, and they're all a threat from distance. They are incredible. They're like mid-80s in long shots, so such good quality in the midfield. And then, like I said, they like exploiting these wide areas. Nelson Semedo on right back specifically is just amazing. On the ball, so comfortable, very pacey. And then up front, they lost Jimenez to City, so they lost that classic striker, but they have pace up front and they interchange positions very well. Divock Origi. They still have Huang Hee-Chang. They have Adama Traore, who's probably the fastest player in the Premier League, and Pedro Neto up front, but they all interchange positions. It's so difficult to play against. They move into channels well. I really struggled tactically against this team in the first game, and I don't suspect it'll be any different. But I'm going to try something different, a twist of my own this time. I played a 4-4-2 in the first game, and we lost 1-0. After they went up, it was really difficult to get any chances. This time, I'm going to try a 4-3-3, but a variation of it. I'm not going to play 3 industrious midfielders. I'm going to play Cantwell instead. Maybe this will give me that little bit of extra edge in the offensive phase to break them down. I'm going to play Holgate and Keane at the back because this became my go-to CB partnership, and it gives me the most ability to play out from the back. I need that as well, and we're going to try our best. Like I said, Alan St. Maximin would have been so good. I may have opted to go with Richarlison at striker and Alan St. Maximin out wide, but unfortunately, we don't have that option. We're just going to have to play our best here, and like I said, I'm going to try to control the ball a little bit more and try to break them down and create opportunities within this 4-3-3 with Allen and Cantwell sort of running into the box more so from deep. Let's go, guys.
Will you please make some noise and welcome the visitors, Wolverhampton Wanderers, and your very own Toffees, Everton! And Everton line up as follows.
Guys, it's one thing tactically understanding your opponent, and it's another thing entirely beating them, and Wolves is incredibly difficult to beat. They love using these wide areas, they're willing crossers. Adama Traore gets on the end of it here. Pickford is forced to make a save. Bruno Lag has this team playing some incredible football, and honestly, it was all Wolves early on here. They dominated the first 15-20 minutes. They just played so well, and they created the chances they wanted. They love moving into these channels, like I said, and this time it's Neto who gets on the end of it, and Pickford is forced to make another save. They're just so good at creating the specific chances they want, specific opportunities. It's very repeatable stuff, tactically sound. We get an interesting chance. We clear this sort of wildly, and it falls right to Richarlison. We have a great counter opportunity from this. We play it a little bit slower than I would have liked, but we switch the play. Cantwell finds himself in a pocket of space. He slips it into Calvert-Lewin, and it's a save. But that was a great chance, and it's honestly one of the few times we caught out Wolves, truly caught them out, because a lot of the times in this game, they came back and really defended well. But it was all Wolves, like I said, in the first half, and they like to put it out wide. Their first thought is also always to cross, but if they can't, they play it around. Those midfielders come up from their deep positions and they create, and you can see how Moutinho ghosts in here into the box and gets it in. It's 1-0 Wolves, and this is exactly what I said. They ghost in from those deep lying positions to get either long shots or into the box, and it was an error on our part because Bamin did not cut this pass out. Allen lost Moutinho, who is wide open in the box. He puts it in, and they're always going to finish these chances. Once Wolves was 1-0 up, look how well they defended. They nipped balls, and they played it calmly out from the back. I was able to sometimes get the ball, but look at Cantwell gets the ball. Do you see Cody get attracted to that? No, he knows where the danger is. He backpedals and gets it back. It was a very sound defensive game from them. To be honest, we did very well as well defensively here for the most part. Look how well we defend, and we get our fair share of counter opportunities, but look how well Wolves defend. We got a counter, and most of their back five there is coming back, so they are very, very disciplined. That was the first half. In the second half, again, we try to break them down, but look how well Wolves defend it, and we get a decent opportunity here. We play it around well, we switch the play, we get it in. Cantwell again slips in Calvert-Lewin, but that back five is solid. Bowley this time making a challenge, and this just highlights it all. Look at this while they're defending their positioning. It's a back five, very deep, and look at the midfield. The wingers dropped, and it's a bank of four. So you have that bank of five and the bank of four. There's ball pressure, and they get it back. Look how deep they're defending. 9 of their players are essentially in their box. But when they get the ball back, look how this formation morphs into a 3-4-3. You see the wingers, they're already out wide. Moutinho interchanged positions because it was Adama Traore who was deeper, and it's that 3 up front. And they continuously pressed from there on. We were very lucky not to lose a goal there. They countered very well when they morphed into that position, and Pickford again had to make a save. It was all Wolves, it really was, and they loved, again, using these wide areas. They put it out to Adama Traore. He could have easily continued running here. He plays it around. One of their substitutes, Martinez, was really decent. He caused us a bucket loads of trouble. Pickford had to make another save, and again they put it out wide. Traore could have just easily ran here again, but they are clever. They play different ways. They put in a cross. Again, they love these crosses, and they're very willing to, like, unlike some teams. Divock Origi gets another shot and another save by Pickford. He has been bailing us out. It could have been 2 or 3 easily if not for Pickford. And honestly, I didn't think we would get much from this game because I wasn't creating good opportunities. They were defending so well, and I didn't see us getting anything from this game. But we defend the corner very well, and Richarlison is on a motorbike, never mind just a bike. He gets in, cuts in, Boli is attracted to the ball. It vacates the space for Richarlison to get in on the end of it, and it is 1-1, guys. And this was all due to Richarlison because, first of all, he made a brave run. Second of all, he cut in and he attracted Boli. This is one of the few mistakes Wolves made. He attracted the CB to him, and he was clever enough to then pass it and run into this vacated space. Doucouré found them, and cool and calm as you like, he finishes it here, guys. What a finish from Richarlison, and he gets us 1 point in this game. This is crucial. We don't let Wolves above us in the league table. We get the minimum result here, and from a game we struggled from, we get an important draw. Alright guys, now we've got 2 games against Chelsea coming up. First in the FA Cup semi-finals and then in the league. This is going to be fun times, guys. If you thought the Wolves game was difficult, this is going to be even more difficult. Anything Wolves can do, Chelsea can do better. They have a premium on every position. They are honestly the toughest team I've faced in this series so far. Without a doubt, very impregnable on defense and potent going forward, and they do a lot of things very similarly, if not identically, to Wolves. They set up in that 5-2-3 system, but it's really a 3-4-3 going forward with the fullbacks pushing up. All their CBs are capable on the ball, so they can play it out from the back, whether it be Rudiger, Thiago Silva, who provides that extra leadership, and Christensen, or whether they bring in Malang Sarr, or anyone who plays in the CB, really, Azpilicueta if he drops there. They have fullbacks who are capable of going forward. Reece James, Azpilicueta, the 2 they bought in the winter transfer window, they are stacked at that position. But what makes this team specifically even more difficult to play against is they have that back 3, and then they have Conte in front of them. So he covers every blade of grass. He makes counter-attacking even more impossible. It's going to be really difficult to pair with him. They got Jorginho. They can play Kovacic. They can even play Mount there. So offensively, they're quite capable. If they want to just hold the ball a little bit more and be more defensive, they can do that. They have so many options. Their front 3 can be fluid like Wolves up front with Ziyech or Pulisic or anyone. And in addition, they have that extra premium where they can play Lukaku up front, and they usually do. And that provides that extra little bit of quality because he can be that focal point. You can play it up to him, and then the fullbacks and the wide players can move into their positions, so it makes everything so much more difficult to play against. In terms of how we're going to set up against this, honestly, there's nothing much we can do. We have to set up in a 4-3-3 similarly to Wolves. The tactical plan is more or less the same. So preparing for Wolves, we also prepared for these 2 games against Chelsea. The thing I'm going to change is I'm going to bring in Doucouré for Cantwell. We cannot sacrifice industry in midfield against Chelsea. I risked it against Wolves. And at the back, I'm going to play Godfrey because even though he's not as comfortable playing the ball out, he's faster. And some of these players like Werner and Pulisic, they're so good. and so fast that we need that extra bit of cover that Godfrey plays. I would have really liked Alan St. Maximin in this game, even coming off the bench, but we don't have him. We're going to have to stick with who we do have. Guys, this is going to be so tough. Here we go.
Will you please make some noise as we welcome our visitors Chelsea and your Everton? And the Everton lineup is here. Number 1, Jordan Pickford. Number 3, Max Aarons. Number 4, Mason Holgate. Number 22, Ben Godfrey.
Chelsea started this game off so well, guys, and in the first 15 minutes, I think I had the ball once at kickoff. That's it. They controlled this game from the get-go. Their first chance came from Pulisic, saved by Pickford. Another chance off the bar. What a sequence of events. It then falls to Ziyech, and he hammers the volley home. What a goal. 1-0 Chelsea. And there's nothing I could have done there. Maybe we could have won the second ball, but in the end, the technique that Ziyech displayed on this volley is just outrageous. I'm thinking to myself, if it continues like this, I won't be able to win this game. They have so much quality, and they suffocated me. For the first 15 minutes, I couldn't breathe. That's how well Chelsea played. They let off after this a little bit, and I was able to fashion a decent chance. We move it well here. Gakpo gets on the end of it. He surges into the box, gets a shot off. It's saved by Kepa. Chelsea would continue to mount pressure after this, though, but we were able to counter, and what a ball Allen played here in for Gakpo into open space. He brings it down with his head, and then he smashes it in. 1-1, guys. We are back in this game. What a counter, and what a world-class, just absolute world-class pass from Allen that takes out the whole midfield and the back line. Gakpo gets on the end of it with his pace, and he puts it in. Yes, guys. What a finish, and what a player Gakpo has been for us. Just outstanding. After this, and I'm not sure if this is down to emotions or something else, but Thiago Silva went mad. This was right after the goal, and he just lunges in at Calvert-Lewin. This is not even in a danger area, and he gets a straight red. This is monumental for this game. It changed the flow of the game. Your leader, your guy that's supposed to bring the experience, he goes mad. He lunges in at Calvert-Lewin. That's a definite red. And he's sent off. They bring in Alonso for their striker. They make the immediate tactical substitution. I don't. I wanted to see how the game progressed from there. And I had one more chance in the first half here. Get it to Calvert-Lewin. Spins around. Shot. I decided after this that the tactical change was needed. 4-4-2. I took Bombing off. Put Townsend on. And I'm like, if we're ever going to win a game, it's this one. But it's Chelsea who attack. And Aarons saves us. Remember, guys, earlier on when Coleman didn't jump on the post earlier on in the season? Well, Aarons did, and this is why we brought him in. And from here on, we counter. They strip the ball off Conte. It's one ball in from Richarlison into Calvert-Lewin, and he puts it in the back of the net, guys. 2-1. 2 deadly counters, and we're in front against Chelsea. They're a man down, and I'm starting to believe, guys, that we can win this game. That red card was really the turn of the tides. Calvert-Lewin is brilliant. He's been brilliant this entire season, especially in the last few games. He's hit such a rich vein of form, and he puts it in the back of the net. From there on, I tried to collect myself, and we tried to be as solid defensively as possible, and these are the highlights that show this. We continuously push and do not give them space on the ball so that they don't do something clever and get a good shot. We continue this throughout the entire game. We were so good defensively, and it paid off, guys. It really paid off, because we would come out with the win against Chelsea, guys. We move in to the finals of the FA Cup. And now we just have to wait patiently and see who it's going to be. Arsenal or West Ham? And it turns out to be Arsenal, guys. They beat West Ham 2-1 in the other semi-final. And so that's who we'll be facing. Arsenal in the FA Cup final, guys. I am so excited, but I am in such disbelief still because that Chelsea game, I mean, for them to get a red in that game, for it to be Thiago Silva, out of all players, getting a red, the guy who's supposed to be experienced and exhibiting leadership, I don't know what to say. You can't write this script. And I don't know. If they didn't get a red card, I don't know that we'd win because they're a top side. I struggle against them. So this was the deciding factor, and we got a stroke of luck, and all of a sudden we're in the finals, and we have a chance of winning silverware in the first season. This is so exciting. But we still have another game this episode against Chelsea again. And after that first game, do you know what the scenes will be here? Like, they are going to want to prove that they can beat us. They're going to be hyped, emotional. 2 changes for them. Sarr comes in for Thiago Silva and Lukaku starts. But he starts out wide, which is interesting. I think there is such thing as tactical ingenuity, but I think there's such thing as overcomplicating. I mean, if you have a striker like Lukaku, you just play him through the middle. You use him as a target man and you go from there. If they're playing him out wide, I mean, I'm not sure. They're obviously going to still use him as a target man, a wide target man. Maybe they've seen some weakness. I don't know. We're going to set up very similarly in a 4-3-3, but this time I am taking out Godfrey because he struggled on the ball and also because he struggled in aerial duels. I'm going to put in Holgate. That's the only change I'm making. And we're going to play the very exact same way and see if we can't get another result against Chelsea. Guys, we need as many points in the league as possible. We want that Champions League. We're hungry for it. At least the Europa League. Either way, as many points as possible. Let's go, guys.
Please make some noise as we welcome our visitors Chelsea and your very own Toffees Everton. And Everton line up as follows.
Guys, we started this game much better than the first game against Chelsea, and we had a lot more opportunities. But Chelsea showed they were so good defensively. Rudiger here takes the ball off Gakpo like he's a child, and he was so outstanding this game, it was ridiculous. We had a number of good opportunities, especially on the counter, especially on this right-hand side with Gakpo, but Rudiger closed down so quickly every time. We didn't have the necessary space to get a good ball in. Calvert-Lewin working off of scraps, Kepa gets a save. Chelsea were lethargic in their attacks. They had a lot of empty possession. There wasn't a lot of teeth to their game. They had one opportunity in the first half. Conte gets on the end of it here, and it's close but no cigar. We tried to vary up our play, and I threw a curveball and tried to play a lot of one-touch football. I thought it would give us more chances, and it did so far as we were able to build up better, but every time we tried to put a ball in, Chelsea dealt with it expertly. They were so good. It was so difficult to get anything going. In the second half, it was more of the same. I'd say we were getting more dangerous chances, but Chelsea was a stone at the back. They were just getting everything out. We had one shot on target early on in the second half. We played it around very decently, but even in this chance, Chelsea got so tight so quickly. Davies turned and had to shoot immediately. Kepa made the save, but it was so difficult to get anything from this game. And Chelsea, against the run of play here, get the breakthrough through their stupid little tactic of playing Lukaku out wide. They roll errands. It goes into Mount, who is just free. I don't know why. And he smashes it bar down. 1-0 Chelsea. It's so disappointing. How are you that open? How is no one closing Mount down? I mean, he's the main threat, not the guy over there. He's in the penalty box almost. He's going to take a shot. No, we're not going to close him down. And this was so close, guys. If you see this goal decision, oh my goodness, this was just over the line. And it's 1-0. I'm disappointed. I mean, what can I do? Chelsea immediately off the kickoff, they try to attack, but what happens here is just beyond me, guys. We get the ball back and Conte goes mad. It's an epidemic. It's a Chelsea epidemic. I don't know what is going through his mind. There was no need for that. And What do you think is going to happen? Red card, guys. Second game running with Chelsea. It's a red card. And it's hard to say it's not deserved. This is reckless. What's up with these scissor tackles just flattening people out? I don't understand. Chelsea is just ruining themselves. And immediately this time, because it's the 72nd minute already, I go 4-4-2. This time Davies is injured, so Gubami slots in CDM. Townsend comes on. Guys, we are having a go at this because Chelsea already did this once and we profited, and maybe, just maybe, can we do it again? Chelsea attacks, I don't know, foolishly in my opinion. I would just sit back, but they get across and we defend it well. And what do you think is my first thought? Of course it's counter. We counter Chelsea hard, guys. We play 2 vertical passes and we're on the races. It's a free shot for Richarlison, but Chelsea defends it valiantly. They continue to defend so well. And again, we have another chance. Calvert-Lewin, and it's Kepa who makes this save. It's the 84th minute, guys. We need a push. We can get a tie game here. I know we can get a tie game. Calvert-Lewin tries, but Kepa makes an unorthodox save. But it's Chelsea defending so valiantly. Off that, it's a corner and Calvert-Lewin ties it up, guys. It's 1-1. And yet again, Chelsea digs a hole for themselves and we capitalize on it immediately. Wow. The scenes yet again with a red card and us coming back against Chelsea. I cannot believe it. I really can't believe it. We probably should have lost the FA Cup semi-finals and now this game, but wow, Calvert-Lewin powers in a header. What a header it was, too. He is amazing aerially. I'm so glad he's on our team. That was unsavable. Unsavable. That was the 84th minute, guys, and Chelsea tried to get one back. Again, my opinion, foolish. And Richarlison with one pass from Dean is on to the races. And it's a one-on-one opportunity. Kepa makes the save. Rudiger tries to clear, and it's in. It's in. Rudiger tried to clear it, and it went off Kepa. The scenes here at Goodison. This is incredible. This is the second time we got something here against Chelsea. It's the 91st minute. Victory snatched from the misery of defeat, guys. Look at this. Rudiger tries to clear. It goes off of Kepa and it's 2-1. We win the game against Chelsea courtesy of a red card from Conte and Kepa's ass. We get the result, guys. 2-1. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you next time.